Hey guys, Zuzunatural here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. If you are new, welcome. I am Zuzunatural and I make videos on clean, green beauty, skincare, health and wellness, and crystals. Today we'll be talking about crystals. If any of those topics tickle your pickle, go ahead and subscribe below. I have lots of videos on all of those subjects. Today we're going to be talking about crystals for anxiety. I've had a lot of requests for crystals for anxiety, so I was like, I gotta get this done. We gotta do this. Crystals for anxiety. So in my opinion, you can't have a crystals for anxiety video without fluorite. So this is fluorite right here. You have the green bands, which are cleansing and purifying, associated with the heart chakra. So it's also tuning into that compassion and that love and that caring side of you. You have the purple, which is tuning into intuition and inner knowing and wisdoms and knowledge, which is associated with your third eye. So fluorite comes in all different colors. It comes in solid greens, and let me see if I can put this closer so you can see how beautiful it is. You can really see how beautiful fluorite is when you put it up to the light in the sun. Oh my gosh, just the bands are so beautiful, but you can see it here. It's much more beautiful in person than on my camera. It comes in greens, so it can be solid green, it can be solid purple, and various shades of green, from like a light mint to a darker green, various shades of purple. So fluorite comes in a multitude of colors. However, my favorite for anxiety is this one, which is also often called rainbow fluorite because it has the bands of different colors like rainbow. But this is my favorite. Just looking at it is very soothing and relaxing, the green and the purple. With anxiety, very often it's the chatter in our minds that stress us out the most, even more so than what's actually happening in our surroundings. Because a lot of times if you just stop and you breathe and you focus and you be present, you're present in the moment, it really helps with the situation. So it becomes a mind over matter type deal. Not all the time, not all the time. I don't suffer from anxiety, but I have had moments where I felt a little anxious, especially like around a lot of people. I am an empath, so a lot of people, that's a lot of energy, that's a lot of thoughts going on, and that does impact me. So big crowds, a lot of people, I can get a little anxious. I wouldn't say I have anxiety, but a little anxious, and I'm fine with it and I can deal with it, but I can see how that could really go and really be a big problem for some. And so fluorite helps you kind of calm that mind chatter, help you become present and in the moment, where you can really see that this isn't actually as bad as I'm making it in my head. And so I probably should just chill. I probably should just breathe. And so fluorite really helps with that. Fluorite helps neutralize negative energy. It cleanses the mind, the body, and the spirit. So it helps put you in balance. And so if you are in better balance, then you're not so affected by those external forces that are causing the anxiety. Now, of course, I'm talking about like a mild anxiety, not if you have anxiety so bad that you need to have some sort of medication. That's a whole nother ball game. But for those who just suffer like mild anxiety, maybe when you get in crowds, maybe when you have to talk to new people, this fluorite is really good for that mild anxiety. Or if you're just at home and you're thinking about everything you need to do, sometimes that can make you anxious because you're just like in your head, like, oh my gosh. But this helps you kind of come out of that, helps you bring you back down and say, okay, this is what I have to do. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to freak myself out, right? A lot of times with anxiety, we're freaking ourselves out. So this really helps you to become balanced, emotionally balanced, so you don't do that. Because if you step out of your own way, you'll find that a lot of times that anxiety will kind of subside. And once again, I'm talking about a mild anxiety, not if you really have anxiety issues where you have to be on medication. That is a whole nother ball game. I am not speaking on that. how can we use fluorite for anxiety? So one of my favorite ways is if you have like a palm stone or what they call a worry stone and you're feeling anxious, you have this in your pocket or your purse and you just rub it. And it's a reminder that I need to chill out. I need to chill out. I need to relax. I have some in the shop. If you are interested, there is a code for 10% off below. It's YouTube Love, and you can save 10% on anything you purchase in the shop, any crystals, not the sub boxes, but any crystal purchases. But yeah, you can use a worry stone or a palm stone, and you rub it anytime you're feeling anxious, and it really does help. Lots of times with the palm stones and the worry stones, it's more psychological because just that soothing motion of rubbing it and just that okay, you're kind of grounding yourself in the present. That really helps. You can have fluorite jewelry. So you could have like a fluorite pendant. This is not fluorite, this is clear quartz. But you could have like a fluorite pendant or a fluorite ring, fluorite earrings to help. You can have a large piece like this in a space where you might really feel anxious. Maybe it's at work on your desk. Maybe it's in your office at home. Maybe it's in your bedroom. The fluorite is a really nice piece for the bedroom. I've never had any feelings of it making me feel like I can't sleep, like with some crystals. So there's lots of things you can do with fluorite. You can meditate with fluorite. You can have a piece in your hand while you meditate, or put a piece in front of you while you meditate and focus your intentions of relieving that anxiety. Not being one with that anxiety, letting that anxiety go because it's not yours. It's not yours. You don't want it. You're giving it back. So that's fluorite. Fluorite is gorgeous. I love it. Look at this beauty. That's fluorite also. It's more of a mint green. It's beautiful because it has these drusies on top. And then you can see the green. This is a very popular color for fluorite. This is such a beautiful, beautiful piece. On the back side, you can see really how green it is. But on the front side, look at those drusies. Oh, look at it sparkle. It's such a beautiful piece. So that's also fluorite. And for you, you might want to find out which piece makes you feel more at ease. This might be the color that makes you feel more at ease. So you might just want to shop around for fluorite. Go to the fluorite section and see which piece draws you in. So like I said, for me, it's rainbow fluorite, but it might be this color for you. You know I can't do an anxiety crystal video without speaking about lepidolite or lepidolite. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways. I pronounce it lepidolite. I feel like potato a lot of times with the crystal pronunciations because there's so many different pronunciations. But lepidolite, oh, look how beautiful lepidolite is. It has this kind of sparkly, it's a mica, so it has like those sheets. You can kind of see the sheets, and it's beautiful. But it comes in different forms. So you have that. You could have a chunk, a beautiful sparkly chunk of it. Or my favorite, you can have a palm stone. So this is a palm stone. And remember I was telling you about like a palm stone or a worry stone, which is really good for you to just rub. Have it in your pocket and you rub it. So lepidolite, one of the elements within the natural stone of lepidolite is lithium. Lithium is used in anti-anxiety medications. It's used for stress. It's used for depression. And so this naturally contains lithium. So you can see how wonderful it must be for anxiety, for stress. Lepidolite is very soothing. It's associated with the third eye chakra, so it's connected with your higher self, your divine self, your spiritual self, and it helps you tap into that, to that part of you, that higher part of you where anxiety does not exist. Your higher self is not worried about anxiety, right? Your spiritual self is not worried about anxiety. That's your physical self. And so this helps you kind of drop all of that, helps you get in tune with who you really are, your spirit self, right? Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So that anxiety is going to be tied into the human experience, and sometimes there's no way around it. But this will be a great reminder of who you really are. You are spirit, right? You are not this body. This body is a vehicle that contains who you really are, the essence of you. And so I love lepidolite. Lepidolite helps you feel calm and serene and balanced. can help you shed some of that negative energy from your auric field. So I don't know if you've seen my selenite video where I did the auric field cleanse with the selenite wand. You can do something very similar with lepidolite that will help cleanse you of that energy that you're carrying, that you collect throughout the day with everyone you come in contact with, and every situation that you have. You start building up kind of like this dense fog around your auric field, and this can help cleanse and clear that so you're back to your natural, wonderful, joyous state. So of course, just like with the rainbow fluorite or the fluorite, you can use this in various forms. You can wear it in a jewelry form. It is a softer stone. I have seen it wire wrapped, but it is softer, so sometimes jewelry might not be the best for some of the softer stones. But you can have it in a palm stone or worry stone where you have it in your pocket and you rub it. This would be my favorite for that, even more so than the fluorite and more so than the next one I'm going to speak of. For a palm stone or a worry stone, I would go with lepidolite. And I have these in the shop. Shameless plug, but I do. But yeah, you can rub this, you have it in your pocket. It's a great reminder to just stay centered, to stay balanced, to stay in spirit, right? Just to be your wonderful, joyous, happy, natural self instead of being anxious, right? Because anxiety is just not our natural state. There's some sort of imbalance going on when we're feeling anxiety. And there is a quote, it's a Buddhist quote, and I can't really remember the exact, so I'll paraphrase. But it's something about that when we have anxiety, it's because we're either living in the past or we're living in the future, right? So we're having these concerns about things that have already happened. It's already happened. Let it go. Drop it. Or we're having this anxiety over things that could happen, that might happen, that haven't happened, right? So we're making up these kind of situations and these problems, and we're either reliving trauma or creating trauma that's no longer there. You're here. You're right here in this moment, and there's no trauma. There's nothing happening right here. So I love that quote. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen if I can get the direct words. But yeah, don't live in the past and don't live in the future. Be present right here. The Lepidolite. Love it. You can also do meditations with lepidolite. I love to meditate with lepidolite because I'm a big fan of stones that are associated with the third eye chakra, and the heart. Those are like my favorites. The heart and the mind, right? So tapping into that higher self and that inner consciousness and that intuition, and then that compassion and that love. Those are two of my absolute favorite. I think they're all important, but for me, those are my favorites. So when I'm doing meditations, very often that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on my third eye or my crown, or I'm focusing on my heart. And so if I'm doing a third eye meditation, sometimes I will use lepidolite. Sometimes I'll just lay down and pop it right here and chill out. There's kids outside yelling. I think they should be in school, but I don't know. They're out there. But yeah, lepidolite. The last crystal we're going to speak about, can you guess what it is? Can you guess? Do you know? It's a crystal that we're going to speak a lot about on this channel. It's a crystal that we have spoken a lot about on this channel, and it is rose quartz. Yes, rose quartz. So rose quartz is, to me, one of the most universally, why does that feel weird on my tongue? Universally flattering crystals out there. I mean, of course, quartz crystal, the master crystal, is universally flattering, but rose quartz to me pairs well with almost any crystal I've put it with, and it's a must have. Even though there are some heart chakra crystals that I prefer to work with more so, depending on what exactly I'm working with, I feel like as far as generally speaking, rose quartz is the one. So rose quartz is about self-love. It's about compassion. It's about love for others. And so what I find with anxiety is that a lot of times we are worried about what other people are thinking about us, what other people think about what we're doing. When you have true self-love, you give zero F's about what someone else thinks about you, because it's not about what they think about you. It's what you think about you. Now, of course, you want to be mindful of how you make people feel, especially your loved ones, your friends, your family, and you want to be mindful about how they feel about you, right? Because you're going to use that and critique your behavior off of that. But in general, what they think about you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And I find that with self love, you really kind of drop that anxiety surrounding that, what people think and care about in regards to you. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Like, honestly, and I think we put so much stake into that. And I can understand with close friends and family and loved ones. I can. But with strangers, please stop it. Stop it. Stop doing that to yourself. Self love and compassion can help us release that judgmental side of us. And with judgment, it works both ways. So we're not only judging others, we're judging ourselves too. So sometimes we're our toughest critics and we're so hard on ourselves when we're doing the best that we can. Like, and you're doing the best that you can right now. Does that not mean that you can do better? No, it doesn't mean that. But right now, you're doing the best you can with the circumstances that you have. And of course, you want to make a conscious decision to do better. You always want to be doing better, outdoing yourself, not anyone else, but yourself. But I think rose quartz helps you kind of drop that judgment of you, that judgment of others. And when that judgment kind of dissolves, and of course, this is theoretically speaking, I think that as human beings, we judge, right? We have our biases and we have our thoughts and we have our opinions, but I mean that overcritical judgment, that always judging someone. I mean that. And that negative judgment, because maybe making a judgment on someone can be a positive thing. You might, decide that they're the most wonderful person in the world, right? You're still being judgmental, but it's not a negative, detrimental judgment. So I think rose quartz helps you kind of dissolve all of that so you can let that heaviness off of your shoulders, right? So you can let go of the burden of all of that. You don't have to carry that. And of course, with rose quartz, just like with all of the other crystals, you can wear it in jewelry. I sleep with this baby under my pillow. I love it. Most nights, this has been under my pillow lately. I switch up my crystals, but I've been doing rose quartz, clear quartz, selenite, and black tourmaline. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's where I'm at right now. I switch it up all the time. But rose quartz you can wear in your jewelry. You can meditate with it. I do a heart chakra meditation, and you can find those right here on YouTube. And I have a couple favorites that are in my playlist, and I'll do heart chakra meditation with my rose quartz because I'm always just trying to be more compassionate and more loving and more caring, because that's what this world needs, right? We don't need more intelligent people. We don't need more successful people. And of course we need that, but when you're talking about the scales of what makes this world a better place, it's that compassion and it's that love. And so I'm always doing my heart chakra meditations with my rose quartz. And so rose quartz is the last crystal that I would recommend for anxiety. So we have fluorite, rainbow fluorite particularly, or fluorite, green fluorite. We have lepidolite, right? Palm stone, lepidolite, and we have rose quartz, Those are our 3 crystals for anxiety. So, do you have any crystals that you use for anxiety? Because of course, there are lots more crystals that are associated and help with anxiety besides these 3. These are just my personal favorites. When I choose favorites, I try to use crystals that are readily available. So I don't want to use something that's rare or super expensive that I know you can't get your hands on, or that the majority of people can't get their hands on. So I try to keep it very basic when I'm speaking about crystals that I recommend for a particular love, anxiety, wealth, because it does you no good if I say something that's found right in the top of the Himalayan mountains and there's 3 pieces in the whole world. Well, that's nice, but are you going to get your hands on one of them? Probably not. So I do try to keep the crystals. These are all easy to find. These are all relatively inexpensive crystals. You won't pay a lot for any of these. I mean, of course you can, especially like a piece like this with the drusies, that can cost you quite a bit, but you can also get a smaller piece that doesn't cost you a bit. So those are my crystals for anxiety. Do you have any favorite crystals for anxiety? Drop them in the comments. Let us know, what are your favorites and how do you use them? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Zuzunatural. Peace out.